Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for coming to presentation. I'm glad to see you all. Let me introduce myself. My name is Puspa Aeni. I'm from Islamic Education Study Programs, Class B, ID number 100301200048. The subject of my presentation is sexual violence in college environment. First, I will explain to you about definition sexual violence. Sexual violence is behavior that is carried out by targeting a person's sexuality or sexual organs without obtaining consent, and has an element of coercion or threat. Sexual violence can occur not only outside, but also in educational institutions. The campus environment, which ideally becomes a place to learn about life and humanity, has actually become a place where human values are violated. Next, causes of sexual violence on campus. There are two causes of sexual violence on campus. First, natural or biological factors. These factors has the assumption that men have an urge to have sex compared to women, so that men tend to take action against women. On these factors is that men and women both have a great sense of attraction to each other. Therefore, the expected reaction for women is to feel flattered or at least not to feel disturbed by this action. But in reality, the victim felt disturbed and humiliated because he was harassed by the perpetrator. Second, socio-cultural factors. These factors rose in society as gender and power relation. The factor that is often used on campus is that victims of violence feel they don't dare to refuse or just stay silent when experiencing sexual intercourse because the perpetrator is usually someone who has possession and power on campus, whether as a lecturer, staff, or leader of a certain campus organization. Next, impact on the victim. These factors and causes will have a psychological, and social impact on the victim, such as depression, post-traumatic stress, HIV, reluctance or fear of having close relationship with other people, and even the urge to end one's life. Next, case that the University of Indonesia. From June 2020 to May 2021, the Hope Helps UI Advocacy Directorate noted that there were 30 reports of sexual violence cases within the UI. 30 reports consistent of 11 being KBGS, cyber gender-based violence, 11 were sexual coercion, 4 were rape, 2 were attempted attempt, 2 were sexual attempts. Among the 30 reports of sexual assault, 12 of them were reports of sexual assault by a friend of the victim himself, 11 by an ex-girlfriend, 2 by a boyfriend, 2 by a friend on an online dating application, 2 by a stranger, and 1 by a boss. Next, seeing in decreasing number of cases of sexual violence in universities, the Ministry of Education and Culture issued Permendikbudristek number 30 of 2021 concerning the preparation and handling of sexual violence in higher education. This policy comes in the midst of increasing concern about cases of sexual harassment in the university environment, based on Permendikbud number 30 of 2021, namely limiting meeting between student and rector and education staff without the approval of the head of study programs or department outside the campus area, outside campus operational hours, or for purpose other the learning process. Number two, student, lecturer, educators, and education staff must play an active role in preventing sexual violence. Number 3, head of study program or department must limit meeting outside the campus area, outside campus operational hours, for purpose other than the learning process. Meetings that are held must be approved by the supervisor of the head of the study program or department. Number 4, to obtain approval from the respective superior, the head of study program or kajur, lecturers or educators and education staff must submit an application for writing permission or through electronic communication media regarding the planned meeting with students prior to the meeting. Number 5, students are also required to submit an application for permission to meet the lecturer or in writing or via electronic communication media to the head of the department or head of study program. Next, therefore, more and more cases of violence against students, especially cases of sexual violence in the educational environment, will become a separate phenomenon in today's modern society. These factors and causes will have a psychological, and social impact on the victim. They will be traumatized for life. Cycle wound might heal, but wounds that are stored in the mind do not necessarily disappear. It should be cause for concern and must be protected. Sexual violence can occur anytime, anywhere, and can be perpetrated by anyone, be it family members, school, or other people. Therefore, children need to have knowledge about the right sex to avoid unwanted things. In addition, the Minister of University, Environment, or Education, such the Minister of Education and Culture, must issue an alliance for the prevention and handling of sexual violence in higher education. That's all for our presentation today, and thank you so much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.